Hi there, my name's John McCarthy and I'm talking to you today, just a candid chat to you, talking about how to monetize your leads. Now that's a big question for people that generate leads and also for companies that have salespeople and they're wanting to actually starting to get a return on their investment. Now I've been doing lead generation for almost 15 years now, and I've looked at many ways on how I can sell my leads. Now, this video is not about lead generation per se, like how to generate leads. This is about once you have leads, how you can monetize them. And the best way to do it with anything to do with lead generation is automation. You can't be sitting there going, oh, right, we've done 100 leads at $50 and we bill them $5,000, and then the query comes back 7 days later, oh, we're not paying for this lead, we're not paying for that lead, and then you've got to go through the whole process of looking at which leads were valid, which leads were invalid, and all the rest of it. Just a total waste of time. Now I've got over 15 different websites in about 7 different verticals, everything from health, wealth, finance, real estate, and electricity and solar. They're kind of the key categories that I work in, and I've had thousands and thousands of leads that I generate. Now, the best way to go about monetizing your leads is to, first of all, look at who's buying them. Now, there's really 2 ways you can sell leads. One is through you might be selling leads directly to salespeople, or you might be selling them to someone else that distributes them to salespeople. Now, to give you an idea of those types of categories, you could be dealing with, say, for an example, an insurance brokerage. So the insurance brokerage, like a marketing person who'd be up here, may have 20 or 30 advisors or salespeople working underneath them. So the leads come to them and they distribute them. Now, when the leads come to that person at the top, A, they've got to distribute them, and then there's arguments within who's getting what leads. B, you have to send the leads to that person to be able to distribute them, and then you have to quantify them and qualify them at the end of the month on what was valid and what wasn't valid, and there's all this correspondence going from the advisors to the marketing person to you, and it just wastes time. The second way you can sell leads is you're sending them directly to salespeople. Now, a concept of this would be, you might have come into touch with a brokerage firm that they said, yeah, sure, you deal with our salespeople, or you might pick on a niche, say in real estate, for example. And that's one area that I've worked on, and I've got over, what's the date now? It's October 2022. I've got one website that has over 800 real estate agents attached to it, and I'm sending leads directly to them. Now, that's all fine, but then when you're dealing in lead generation, you need to go, well, hang on a minute, they all don't want the same lead. For example, in real estate, it's going to be by location, isn't it? So you've got some real estate agents that work in this location, that location. In my case, there's over 2,000 locations, and they're all based on postcodes here in New Zealand. So New Zealand's broken into, my last count, I think it's about 17 to 1,800 different postcodes. So when someone comes, so before I go into that, so they're kind of the 2 ways to distribute leads. Now, you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, how do I automate it? How do I do that? Well, I know how to do it, and it's taken me many years to work out how to do it. So I've been doing lead automation, selling lead automation or monetizing my leads for the last 7 years. And in the last 3 years, I've been thinking about ways to distributing those leads direct to salespeople and how I can sell them to that marketing person that I spoke to you about. So before I go into how you do it, I just want to talk to you a bit about the way that you send the leads, because I've got a system you can use right now that does this, and you can use it for free. The way that you do it, if you're selling leads to, I call it the whale, someone that's buying a lot of leads and they're distributing them to their salespeople, you've got to send them the lead information up front. So once you give that intellectual property away, the phone number, the email, the address, what they are, who the intent is, and what the lead's about, well, it's gone. You know, you can't say, oh, sorry, I want my money back, because it's gone. So just like in retail, once you pass on something to someone, you don't want them turning up in 35 days and going, oh, that was fake or it wasn't real. They've got to complain fairly quickly. So once that lead has been passed, you give them a time frame to say, well, that lead was fake or it was invalid, or you give them a process on how to do it. But before that lead goes through to that person, what we do is the lead goes to, so it goes direct to the, we've got some clients up here, and we communicate direct to their salespeople. So it goes straight through to the salesperson. Before it goes to the salesperson, within a millisecond, it checks their credit card. Have they got money in it? Yes, they have. Boom, sends the lead through to them. And then they can go in and then they can query that lead after they've paid for it. And we don't give them a refund, we give them a credit on the next lead. Okay, now the second way of doing it is you might go, well, I'm going to create a market. So for example, I don't know, furniture removal companies, there's one. So you might have, you might generate leads in furniture removal companies, for example. And what you could do is you could have 5 furniture removal companies in, say, Auckland, New Zealand, and you have an inquiry. Now the lead comes in and it sends it via SMS to all 5 people in one hit, in one go. With the first person that gets it wins it. No different than sending this sausage over the fence to the 5 dogs at the other side. The hungriest one's going to grab it, or the quickest one. The lazy one that's had a bit too much to eat might not be so fast. Well, the person that's buying all those sausages and eating them all, they'll certainly be the ones doing the exercise, in other words, doing the sales to afford to buy more. Now, the way that we do that is you send part of the lead. Hey guys, we have a lead inquiry. Someone wants to move a 5-bedroom home. Estimated cost of that is going to be $1,000 to $2,000. Would you like this lead? Click here. And when they click on it, up pops a little frame, and it gives them a time frame to hold that lead. Normally we give them 60 seconds. They sign for it and they hit accept. Takes the money down, passes the lead through to them. Now in both instances, our portal, what it does is it allows them to actually look at each lead and say, that's invalid. Now part of the process in all my sites I've got, when they join up, they have terms and conditions that they agree to. We guarantee that the product won't leak. We guarantee that you have the correct phone number. We guarantee that the email is right. We guarantee. We do not guarantee intent, and no person in lead generation can do that. Intent is impossible. What we do provide is that the person that is inquired has gone through a rigorous process, and again, I'm not talking about lead generation itself because that's a different kettle of fish, to obtain this information. And I'll show you in some other videos how to get leads with high intent. But you've got to be careful that your CPL, or your cost per lead, is not too rigorous that actually turns into what we call a referral, because then that's a different kettle of fish. So what you do is the lead comes through and then they click on it and they buy it and it's done. So with the levels of intent, it's really important. But what I'm coming back to is your terms and conditions state which is invalid lead. So they go into the portal, they make a query, they put a drop down, what's the reason, and they go wrong number. Then you can look at it in our portal and go, oh yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 number, or Bob email. Yep, accepted, and we'll give you a credit. Again, in some other videos, I'll show you how you can eliminate fake emails and especially fake numbers. But it's not 100% it works all the time. Works 99% of the time. But anyway, that's just a bit of an overview of the 2 ways that you'd predominantly distribute your leads and how you get income off them. So through selling them to a marketing person up here that's got existing relationships, or you use that existing relationship and you sell them direct, Or in the example I gave you before with the furniture removal companies, you go out there and create your own opportunities. And that's how I created my real estate site. Mind you, it's taken me 4 years to actually get to 800 real estate agents to purchase the leads. Anyway, if you want to know more about how to use the system, go to zapperlead.com. Just in the bio box below there'll be a link. It's totally free to use. You only pay as you receive income. So if you receive income coming in, we earn commission off your leads that you sell. So not until you get paid is that when we get our commission. But all the software there is free to use, and we're there to we're built for success. So we're there to drive your sales. The more you make, the more we earn. So it's a win-win for us all. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this short video on the main ways to monetize your leads. Bye.